When people think of great Muslim nations, they often picture the Middle East or North Africa, but the country with the largest Muslim population is Indonesia, a land of volcanoes, rainforests and over 17,000 islands. Indonesia is home to more than 230 million Muslims, about 12% of the world's Muslim population, more than Pakistan or Egypt. This fact surprises many, showing that the heartlands of Islam are not always where the faith began. Indonesia's journey to becoming the world's most populous Muslim nation was not marked by conquest, but by centuries of peaceful change. Islam here is deeply influenced by local traditions, creating a vibrant, tolerant, and uniquely Indonesian expression of the faith. To understand how this happened, we need to look back, before Islam arrived, when powerful empires ruled these islands. The story of Islam in Indonesia doesn't start with a sword, but with a ship, drawn by the lure of spice and the promise of trade. This journey across oceans would forever change the destiny of these islands. Today, the call to prayer echoes from Jakarta to remote villages, connecting Indonesia to the global Muslim community. Yet, the way Islam is practiced here remains distinct, a testament to the island's rich history and adaptability. Let's travel back in time to see how it all began. Before Islam, Indonesia was a thriving center of civilization, home to powerful kingdoms like Srivijaya and Majapahit. These empires were deeply connected to India through trade, adopting Hinduism and Buddhism. Magnificent temples like Borobudur and Prambanan still stand as reminders of this era. The island's wealth came from spices, cloves, nutmeg and mace, found only in the Moluccas. Spices were worth more than gold, drawing traders from India, China, and eventually the Middle East. The archipelago was a crossroads of cultures, open to new ideas and people. Trade networks connected Indonesia to the wider world, setting the stage for Islam's arrival. The same monsoon winds that brought Hindu and Buddhist ideas would soon carry Muslim merchants. The ports that welcomed Indian Brahmins and Buddhist monks would soon welcome Arab, Persian, and Indian Muslims. Indonesia's openness to the world made it fertile ground for new beliefs. The stage was set for a new chapter in the island's history. Islam's story in Indonesia would begin not with conquest, but with commerce. Muslim merchants set sail from Arabia and India, following the monsoon winds across the Indian Ocean. Their ships, loaded with textiles and glassware, arrived in Indonesian ports after months at sea. These traders were devout Muslims, living their faith openly as they traveled. Their honesty and fairness in business earned them respect among local rulers and merchants. Many of these traders were Indian Muslims from Gujarat, acting as cultural bridges between Arabia and Southeast Asia. They often stayed for months, waiting for the winds to change, and built small communities in port cities. Mosques were established, and the daily rituals of Islam became a familiar sight. The seeds of Islam were planted through trade, trust, and personal example, not force. Over time, these Muslim communities became a respected part of Indonesia's multicultural port cities. Islam arrived as a living faith, woven into the rhythms of commerce and daily life. The faith's spread was gradual, organic, and deeply rooted in the realities of trade. The journey of Islam to Indonesia was a story of connection, not conquest. The stage was set for the next transformation. Muslim traders' reputation for fairness and integrity built trust with local Indonesians. As they waited for the monsoon winds, they formed small enclaves. In port towns, locals observed their daily prayers, fasting, and acts of charity. There was no aggressive proselytizing, just quiet devotion and strong community bonds. Some traders married local women, often from influential families. These marriages created the first mixed-heritage Muslim families, bridging cultures. Children from these unions were raised as Muslims, but remained rooted in local traditions. The first mosques were simple wooden structures, serving as centers for worship and learning. Islam spread through personal connections, marriage, and the example of a just community. The faith grew one family, one neighborhood at a time. It was a slow, organic process, deeply woven into the fabric of Indonesian society. Islam became part of daily life, not an outside imposition. The foundation for a uniquely Indonesian Islam was laid. The spread of Islam accelerated when local rulers converted. For many, this was a strategic move. Joining the powerful Muslim trading network brought wealth and influence. Becoming a sultan attracted Muslim merchants, giving rulers an edge over Hindu-Buddhist rivals. Conversion brought favorable trade terms and strengthened political alliances. When a ruler converted, his court and elite often followed, making Islam the faith of the state. Islam became associated with power, modernity, and success. The general population gradually adopted the new faith, following their leaders. Rulers blended Islamic ideas with local traditions, creating a uniquely Indonesian form of kingship. Mosques were built with architectural nods to pre-Islamic temples. Islamic law was introduced alongside local customs, making the transition smooth. Islam's spread was a process of adaptation, not replacement. While trade and politics opened doors, Sufi mystics brought Islam into the hearts of Indonesians. Sufis focused on personal spirituality, love, and devotion, resonating with local mystical traditions. They traveled as humble teachers, using local art forms like shadow puppetry and gamelan music to share Islamic stories. The famous, the Nine Saints, used creative methods to teach Islam in Java. Sunan Kalijaga used shadow puppetry. Sunan Kudus built a mosque resembling a Hindu temple. Sufis respected local beliefs, blending Islamic teachings with existing customs. Their gentle, inclusive approach made Islam appealing and accessible. Sufism offered a spiritual path that didn't require abandoning ancestral traditions. Islam became a faith that could coexist with and enrich local culture. The Sufi message of inner transformation resonated deeply in Indonesia. Islam became not just the religion of rulers, but the faith of the people. This heart-centered approach ensured Islam's deep and lasting roots. The conversion of rulers and Sufi missionaries led to the rise of Islamic kingdoms like Samudra Pasai, Malacca, and Demak. These sultanates became centers of Islamic culture, education, and trade. They built mosques and established religious boarding schools. Local scholars, emerged, teaching Islam in their own communities. This created a self-sustaining cycle of Islamic learning, independent of foreign influence. European colonialism changed the political landscape, but Islam became a symbol of resistance and unity. Islamic leaders and schools preserved local identity during foreign rule, laying the groundwork for national consciousness. Today, Indonesia is a nation of immense diversity, unified by a shared identity in which Islam plays a central role. The peaceful spread of Islam, through trade, marriage, and cultural adaptation, shaped Indonesia's tolerant character. Indonesian Islam is a model of syncretism and coexistence. Its journey from distant shores to the heart of the islands is a story of adaptation and resilience. Indonesia's place as the world's largest Muslim nation is no accident. It's the result of centuries of peaceful transformation. This is the story of how Islam became Indonesian. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help others discover Indonesia's remarkable story. Thank you for watching.